They call it Ma-no Umi, the Sea of the Devil, a place where the boundary between legend and reality vanishes into the deep blue mist. For centuries, Japanese fishermen have whispered tales of fire-breathing dragons dwelling beneath the waves, waiting to pull the unsuspecting into the dark, silent abyss. Today we navigate the treacherous waters of the Dragon Triangle, a region as mysterious as it is deadly to all. The Pacific Ocean is vast, but this specific corner holds secrets that have baffled sailors and scientists alike for more than 1,000 years now. Located off the coast of Japan, this triangle of water has earned a reputation for swallowing ships whole without leaving a single trace behind them. Most ancient scrolls speak of breath of the dragon, sudden eruptions of fire and steam that would incinerate any vessel brave enough to sail these waters. Even today, with our advanced technology, the sea here remains unpredictable, turning from a mirror-calm surface to a raging death trap in mere seconds. What lies beneath is not a monster of myth, but a force of nature so powerful it challenges our very understanding of the Earth's crust. The statistics are chilling. Countless planes and ships have entered these coordinates only to vanish from radar, leaving no debris and no survivors to tell. To understand the present, we must look into the past, specifically to a year when the mystery became an undeniable national tragedy for Japan. The legends of old were about to be replaced by a cold, hard reality that no one in the scientific community was prepared to face. The dragon's breath was real, but it wasn't coming from a beast. It was coming from the very heart of our restless, our shifting planet Earth. Names and faces lost to the deep, their stories cut short by the sudden violence of a sea that keeps its secrets locked away forever. Behind the calm facade of these waves lies a graveyard of steel and bone, waiting for us to peel back the layers of the unknown. Prepare yourselves as we dive deep into the heart of the Devil's Sea, beginning with the investigation that changed maritime history in 1952. In September 1952, the research vessel Kaio Maru Number 5 set sail from Tokyo, carrying 31 souls on a mission of scientific discovery. Their objective was to investigate a series of mysterious underwater eruptions near the Myojin-sho Reef, a volcanic hotspot in the heart of the triangle. Among them were some of Japan's finest oceanographers, men who dedicated their lives to understanding the sea, unaware of the danger that awaited them. The ship was well-equipped and modern for its time, but designed to withstand the harsh conditions of the open Pacific and its unpredictable weather patterns. On September 24th, the ship reached the vicinity of the reef. Below them, the Earth was preparing a violent display of geological power. Suddenly, all communication ceased. No distress signal was sent, no mayday echoed across the airwaves. The Kaio Maru simply vanished from the radar screens. The disappearance sent shockwaves through the Japanese government. A massive search and rescue operation was launched immediately to find any sign of life. For days, planes and ships scoured thousands of square miles, but the ocean remained stubbornly silent, offering no clues to the vessel's fate. Eventually, searchers found small pieces of debris, bits of wood and barrel fragments that were later identified as belonging to the missing research ship. Analysis of the debris revealed something terrifying. The fragments were embedded with volcanic rock and showed signs of intense heat and crushing pressure. It became clear that the Kaio Maru had been directly over an underwater volcano at the exact moment it erupted with catastrophic force. The sea had literally exploded beneath them, sending a column of boiling water and rock thousands of feet into the air in a split second. 31 lives were lost in an instant. This tragedy forced the world to acknowledge that the Devil's Sea was more than just a sailor's superstition. The Japanese government officially declared the area a danger zone, warning all maritime traffic to stay far away from the volatile Myojincho reef. But the Kaio Maru was only one of many. Reports of other disappearances continued to fuel the fire of the Dragon's Triangle mystery for decades. If a modern research vessel could be destroyed so easily, what chance did the wooden ships of old have against such elemental fury? The sea had claimed its tribute, leaving behind only questions that would take the next 50 years of science to even begin answering. As the body count rose, so did the theories. Some were grounded in science, while others drifted into the realm of pure science fiction. It was time to separate the myths from the reality and look at the wild theories that have surrounded this area for so long. Whenever a ship vanishes, the human imagination fills the void. Some claim the Devil's Sea was a gateway to another dimension or a UFO base. While these stories sell books and movies, they often ignore the physical evidence. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof, which is usually missing here. Many have noted the striking similarities between this region and the Bermuda Triangle. They lie at almost the exact same latitudes on opposite sides. One popular theory suggests that magnetic anomalies in these areas cause compasses to spin and electronic equipment to fail, leading ships to their doom. While it's true that magnetic north and true north align in these regions, our modern navigation systems have long since accounted for these minor variations. Magnetism alone cannot explain why a ship would vanish without a trace. There has to be a physical force capable of sinking steel hulls. The idea of time slips or wormholes is fascinating to some, but there is zero scientific data to support such phenomena in the Pacific Ocean. We must look at the hard data. When we analyze the shipping lanes, we see that thousands of vessels pass through here every year safely. Statistically, the Dragon's Triangle isn't more dangerous than any other busy maritime route subject to heavy weather and high traffic volumes. However, normal doesn't mean safe. The unique geology of this specific area creates hazards that are rarely found anywhere else on our planet. Nature has its own way of creating mysteries, and in the Devil's Sea, those mysteries are forged in fire and extreme atmospheric pressure. If we stop looking for ghosts and aliens, we start to see the real culprit, a dynamic and violent underwater landscape that never sleeps. To truly solve the puzzle, we have to look down, deep beneath the waves, where the crust of our world is being torn apart. The secrets of the Dragon's Triangle aren't in the stars or in another dimension. They are buried under miles of water and rock. The truth is often less cinematic than the fiction, but it carries the weight of undeniable evidence that can be measured and tested. The dragon was a metaphor for a geological power that the ancients couldn't explain, but which we can now map with precision. So let us leave the myths behind and face the real hell that exists at the bottom of the Pacific, where fire meets the water. The next chapter of our journey takes us thousands of feet down into the realm of the Izu-Bonin Trench, the engine of destruction. But the Devil's Sea sits atop one of the most volatile geological structures on Earth, the subduction zone of the Izu-Bonin Mariana volcanic arc. Here, the massive Pacific plate is being forced deep into the mantle, melting as it goes and creating high-pressure reservoirs of molten rock. This process fuels a chain of underwater volcanoes that stretch for thousands of miles, many of which are active and largely unmonitored by humans. These vents and volcanoes are not just passive features. They are constantly venting gases and heat, altering the chemistry and temperature of the ocean. When an underwater volcano erupts, it doesn't just release lava. It releases an incredible amount of energy that can destabilize the water column above. Imagine a sudden release of steam and gas so powerful it creates a localized hole in the ocean, removing the buoyancy that keeps ships afloat. This area is also known for mud volcanoes, where high-pressure fluids force sediment to the surface, creating temporary islands that vanish as quickly as they appear. Navigating these waters is like walking through a minefield where the mines are miles deep and the ground is constantly shifting beneath your feet. Volcanic activity can also release vast rafts of pumice, stone, which can clog ship engines and leave them dead in the water, vulnerable to storms. The sheer depth of the trench, over 30,000 feet, means that anything that sinks here is gone forever, crushed by the weight of the abyss. This is a world of extreme heat and extreme cold, where the very foundations of the earth are in a state of perpetual, violent conflict. Underwater earthquakes, common in the triangle, can trigger tsunamis and rogue waves that strike without any warning, even in otherwise clear, calm weather. The pressure at these depths is enough to flatten a submarine like a soda can. So there are no survivors of a hull failure in the triangle. We are just now beginning to map these underwater peaks, many of which were unknown to the sailors who disappeared among them long ago. Life here has adapted to the hellish conditions, but human technology is often too brittle for the raw power of the Pacific's volcanic heart. The Dragon's Breath is a phreatic eruption, a steam-driven explosion that can pulverize rock and turn seawater into a blinding, scalding fog of death. When you combine this geological instability with the fierce weather of the Pacific, you get a recipe for the most dangerous water on Earth. It is a place where the Earth is still being born, a messy and violent process that pays no heed to the lives of men. Every X on this map represents a moment where nature's fury overwhelmed human ingenuity, leaving behind a silence that science is struggling to fill. Though the sudden heating of the sea can kill instantly, but it is the invisible killers that often pose the greatest threat to modern maritime safety. Beyond the fire and the lava, there are other, more subtle forces at work. Forces that can turn the ocean into a trap with no escape. This substance is methane hydrate, also known as fire ice. It is a ticking time bomb buried in the sediment of the Dragon's Triangle. In the next segment, we will explore how this invisible gas and the terrifying rogue waves act as the ocean's most efficient, silent assassins. Methane hydrates are gas molecules trapped in ice-like cages under high pressure. When the seabed shifts, these cages break open in a massive release. As these bubbles rise, they lower the density of the water. A ship designed to float on dense seawater suddenly finds itself in a liquid void. In this state, a vessel can lose all buoyancy and sink vertically in seconds. No time to launch lifeboats, no time to send a radio signal. But the gas doesn't stop at the surface. It can also stall aircraft engines by depriving them of the oxygen needed for combustion, leading to sudden crashes. But methane isn't the only invisible threat. Meet the rogue wave, a wall of water 3 times the size of any surrounding swells. In the Devil's Sea, the powerful Kuroshio current meets cold northern winds, creating the perfect conditions for these freak waves to spontaneously form. A rogue wave has the power to crush a ship's bridge and snap its hull like a toothpick. It is a force of nature that defies standard models. The Kuroshio, or Black Stream, is the second strongest current in the world, moving massive volumes of water at incredible speeds through the triangle. Anything that enters this stream is carried away rapidly. This explains why searchers often find no debris at the site of a ship's last known position. But today, we monitor these currents and gas levels with advanced sensor arrays, trying to predict the unpredictable and save lives before they are lost. Modern science has stripped away the supernatural, but the danger remains. The physics of the ocean are just as terrifying as any ancient myth. The interaction between the deep-sea trenches and the powerful surface currents creates complex eddies and whirlpools that can trap smaller vessels easily. While we've debunked the mystical magnetic claims, we know that electromagnetic interference from undersea eruptions can still disrupt sensitive modern avionics and radios. Mechanical failure in these waters is a death sentence. Once a ship loses power, it is at the mercy of the Kuroshio and the storms. We often think we have conquered the sea, but the Dragon's Triangle serves as a humbling reminder of our true place in the natural world. Even our most advanced military technology respects these waters. There are places where the pressure and the heat make human exploration impossible for now. The stories of the survivors, few as they are, all speak of a suddenness, a moment where everything was fine, and then everything was gone. The seafloor here is a museum of tragedy, a silent testament to the thousands of sailors who have been claimed by the Devil's Sea over time. We must remember that behind every mystery, there are human families left waiting on the shore for a homecoming that will never happen for them. The ocean is not our enemy, but it is also not our friend. It is an indifferent force that follows its own ancient geological laws. Science has given us the how, but the why. The reason why these forces converge in this one place still fills us with a sense of awe. As we conclude our investigation, we turn our eyes from the data to the people and the legacy of the most dangerous part of the ocean. Must we stand at the edge of the Ma-no Umi, not as conquerors, but as witnesses to the power of the natural world and its mysteries. The search for truth is a journey without an end. For every question we answer, the ocean presents 10 more for us to ponder deeply. Today's mariners carry the lessons of the past with them, using technology to navigate safely, while never forgetting the respect the sea demands from us. The lost are never truly forgotten, as long as we continue to tell their stories and learn from the tragedies that claim their lives so suddenly. The dragon may have been a myth, but the power it represented is very real, and it continues to shape our planet every single day. In the face of such overwhelming power, we are reminded of our own fragility and the preciousness of every life that ventures onto the deep blue. The Devil's Sea is now a place of study, a laboratory for the next generation of scientists who hope to unlock the Earth's final secrets. Our journey through the Dragon's Triangle ends here, but the mystery continues to ripple through the currents of time and the depths of the ocean. We live on a water planet, a world where the oceans still hold 90% of our history and our most profound, unsolved geological mysteries. Time will eventually reveal all truths, but until then, we must sail with caution and honor the memory of those who went before us. The sea has no malice. It only follows the laws of nature. We study it not to conquer, but to learn to respect its greatness. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive. Stay curious, stay humble, and always respect the power of the great, wide, and deep Pacific. Dedicated to the crew of the Kaio Maru Number 5 and all the souls who rest within the silent embrace of the dragon's triangle. The light of knowledge eventually dispels the shadows of fear. We move forward, guided by science and tempered by the lessons of the deep. Oh, this has been a journey into the heart of the Pacific. Join us next time as we explore more of the world's greatest mysteries. Good night, and may your own journeys always find a safe harbor and a clear path through the wonders and the mysteries of life.